Three major red flags in a woman, and if you see this, run the other way, please, guys. Dear men, if you finish watching this video and you sense that the woman you're dating in a relationship with shows these three major red flags and you're still with her, don't tell me I didn't tell you so, but please, guys, it's time to really reflect and take the action needed in order to better your life and your mental health. Now, I don't want to be overly pessimistic or talk about all of the different scenarios that I may not hear about, but these are extremely important themes in which you should look out for as a man within your relationship that shows you that this woman or this relationship might not be your best chance at success, health, and a beautiful family or relationship that you had yearned for when you started that relationship with her. Okay, so hi guys, welcome. I'm Christy. I'm a therapist and a relationship coach. Welcome to my platform where we talk about real life problems and real life psychology tips that will help you improve your relationships with the women that you're with, or in general as a human being and as a person that you're trying to uplift in this society. Okay, so welcome. If you like these types of video, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and by giving me that thumbs up, you're committing to bettering your health, right? Really improving your level of self-awareness, identity, and ability to reflect on whether or not you want to do the things in order to change and better your life as a human being. Okay, so that is really why I'm doing all of this. Okay, and comment down below, what are some red flags in your relationships that you're just kind of unsure about? Really want to hear what some red flags are out there, because to be honest, in my opinion, some red flags that I see out there are genuinely not red flags. Okay, they're boundaries and they're reactive survival mechanisms that protect you. Okay, so let's not overreact, but in this video we're not talking about that. We're talking about major red flags. So number one, the relationship does not feel like it's 50-50. Now, don't come at me for saying this, okay? I'm not telling you to go Dutch or start telling, your girlfriend that she needs to pay for half of the bill, okay? That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is it's a huge red flag if the woman that you're with isn't or doesn't know how to contribute to the relationship in the ways that she needs to in a 50-50 aspect. And it can all start as early as a first date. Okay, and again, I'm not telling you to go Dutch with her, but there are signs and signals that show you, is this woman a contributing factor to a relationship or any human being that she's interacting with? And it can be like on a first date, does she offer to drive up to you or closer to you if you've set the date and set the time and set the place and she knows in her head that you are going to be paying? Okay, so does she offer and contribute a little bit to the relationship to make your life a little bit better or easier? Or it can be as simple as, does she validate that she's really excited to see you? She's really excited to meet you. She's excited about the date, okay? She's contributing in her own way, okay? If you miss these signs early, it might not be a huge deal breaker, but I'm going to talk about more of the bigger deal breakers as the relationship progresses. In a longer term relationship, it's a huge red flag if a woman doesn't contribute any type of subjective effort, attention, contribution to the relationship. I see it as a huge red flag as a woman. I could be westernized, okay? I could be having crazy ideologies and indoctrinated in me. If you've dated a woman for a long time and she hasn't even made the effort to pull out her wallet and offer to pay for the next drink or even pay for a meal, and it's been a long time, especially when you know she has the capability, the financial means to at least offer that. It's a gesture, right? I see that as a huge red flag, because if she's setting the tone for that and you're agreeing to it, by golly, you should know what you're getting into. And I know, okay, a lot of men find it completely okay and completely fine with being the financial kind of breadwinner of any relationship. You don't mind a woman who doesn't make as much as you or doesn't make much at all. You want a homemaker, right? But it's really important, even in that belief, that you know the woman that you're selecting or dating or in a relationship with has that mental capacity to understand the reciprocal efforts and exchange needed in a relationship. Okay, so is she adding and contributing to the relationship in her own way? Is she supporting you in ways maybe not in a financial means, right? Is she supporting you? Is she asking about your day? Is she setting up dates in which would be helpful for you to get your mind off of a stressful time, right? Is she giving you the type of love that you need, physical touch, and the support that you need when you're talking about, you know, the stresses of your life? Is she taking care of things outside of financial means? Is she cooking if you paid for the groceries? Okay, so a healthy level of exchange of effort is extremely important, and the relationship should be 50-50 in its own ways. Okay, if you're having a really bad day, does she kind of uplift you and fill in the gaps when you can only give 20 in the relationship? If vice versa, she's feeling only really 20% and she only has the capacity to give 20% to the relationship, are you coming in and filling in the 80%? Okay, do you have that healthy level of understanding that the relationship always should be at 100%? Okay, and you guys kind of hold the same responsibilities of the needs of the relationship to be healthy. It can never be one-sided in general. And if you have a woman who doesn't want to do it or doesn't know how to do it, I see that as a major red flag. Okay, number 2, this is a huge trigger warning, but you sense that there's verbal and physical abuse. Now, I want to keep this topic extremely sensitive, and it's a very serious topic. Topics amongst verbal and physical abuse amongst women or females, you'll get women kind of going unhinged, talking about their crazy, toxic ex-boyfriend, right? Or narcissistic boyfriend that she's had in the past. When it comes to men, verbal and physical abuse really doesn't get talked about enough, and it really largely goes unspoken. The verbal and physical abuse that women do to men within the relationships are largely a very shameful and guilt-ridden, again, doesn't get talked about in our society. And that's why I feel like the urge and the need to highlight this, because I see it a lot in relationships that men tend to keep it in a down low with the fear of destroying her reputation. Oh, maybe time will kind of improve things and she'll learn to kind of not do these things, right? Oh, I just need to give it time. And because you're built to be resilient at the end of the day, you're built to be okay with being like a armor that doesn't get affected by much. But it's really important that I highlight this, because that shouldn't be what you have to do as a man. And early in the relationship, verbal and physical abuse, again, it doesn't start overnight, and it's extremely important that you see the signs that are coming up. Okay, and some signs that you may have missed is possibly in verbal abuse, the micro belittling throughout your entire beginning of the relationship. She's slowly feeding you these things in which slowly make you feel a little bit less than, or question about your ability to even view and perceive this world. Okay, it's micro belittling that gets fit into your everyday conversations and your everyday actions and the dates and the things that you do. Or have you missed the red flags, or you excuse the red flags of her throwing things or destroying things when you guys get into a very bad fight? okay? Yes, she hasn't really put her hands on you yet, okay? Trigger warning, please, guys. Trigger warning. She hasn't put her hands on you yet, but that action and that ability to do something like that says something about someone, okay? And have you excused that to the degree in the past, which have kind of like brought you in this place? Really important that you understand verbal and physical abuse or micro belittling, micro gaslighting, micro negativities, and her ability to react with her body through anger and rage are huge major red flags that I don't want you to excuse at the end of the day. Now, I want to make it clear that there is a difference between teasing and bantering versus full-fledged abuse, okay? And you have to be understanding and clear and black and white with the limitations of those boundaries and those standards lie for you as a man. And if you don't have much clarity on that, if you can't tell the difference between teasing and just micro belittling or even the encapsulation of gaslighting, that's kind of an issue and you could be overthinking. Now, I'm not trying to gaslight you here, but it's important to know the difference, and you need to know the differences by setting and understanding your own limitations before it's too late. Number 3, okay? And this is probably not one that you've ever heard of, and I think this doesn't get talked about enough in social media or popular culture or psychology tips 101, okay? It's whether or not the woman that you're with or the partner that you're with has a pessimistic and negative view about the world, her family, and her relationships in general. Now, at first, in the beginning of a relationship, meeting this type of woman, a woman who has extremely polarizing views about the world, can feel a little bit intoxicating, to be honest. It's gonna feel a little bit different compared to all of the women that you've dated in this world. She seems to be a woman that speaks her mind and in a very intelligent way, and she has this truth about her that she is so passionate about. And her polarizing opinions and philosophies about how all human beings are a liar and how this world is just the survival of the fittest, and emotions and genuine care and relationships are genuinely not that important to get you to be surviving and successful in this modern society. She just has a very insecure and very toxic view of the world, and it could mean that she came from a very traumatic past in the past. Don't lie, guys. I know this can feel almost like an intoxicating challenge for you, like she set this bar up so high and you want to prove to her that you're different. You're the man that's going to show her that this world is different, love is different, and just by loving her in the right way. It's going to feel like a challenge or a person that you want to conquer, and something in which you can do by showing her that you're a good man, right? Please don't fall for it. Some traumas, some people, okay, will have traumas in which nobody can prove them wrong unless they want to change it. These type of women are not only incapable of seeing the good in people, but they fail to realize that it's exactly this negative and pessimistic mindset that can be a little bit intoxicating because it's not anything you've ever heard of in the average Joe or the average Sophie that you've met. It can be very intoxicating. That it's exactly this mindset that bleeds into their behaviors and their reactions to this world that actually puts them at the forefront of bringing out the worst in people, bringing out the worst in those around them, okay? And at the end of the day, if she is unable to understand that she is the common factor between her own continual negative experiences and outcomes of her own life, all she does throughout the process of doing this is she will continually prove that her theory about the world is right, that the vast majority of the people in this world are out to get her, are negative, are self-entitled, entitled, right, are selfish and toxic, and she's going to feel extremely happy that she proved that this theory is the correct one. And one day, men, no matter what you do, one day you will be her enemy. Okay? This confirmation bias keeps her guard up, her need for this guard and defensive mechanism up. And one day, inevitably, guys, you will be her enemy, and you will see that no matter what you do, no matter what you say to her and do for her, that bar was never going to be met. Okay? She's always moving that bar higher and higher. It's not a challenge for you to conquer. Trust me. So I hope you guys found this video extremely valuable. Please do me a favor and start reflecting on how important it is for you to understand what your standards are as a man. Okay, women have standards, and we don't talk about how important it is for you to have standards, you to put your own mental health first, and you to understand who you are as a man, okay, and what your values and belief systems are in order for you to understand how to mold the most healthy and beautiful relationship out there. So, hope you found this video helpful, and please join me again next time for some extra tips and psychology tips that make your life and mental health and relationships a better one. Hi everyone, if you enjoyed our content, don't forget to follow us on TikTok and IG where we post daily, and YouTube where we post weekly.